It's our first final of non-league to legend today. We're playing against Celtic in the Betfred Cup final. I've not bothered to wear a suit because it's only the Betfred Cup and you lot have told me that one's not really that important. So don't need a suit for this one. But then as soon as we're done with that, hopefully having celebrated a victory, we've then got to play Rangers in the league as well. So this is one of those videos where it's probably all going to go quite badly wrong. Hello and welcome to Season 7, Part 4 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're playing against Celtic in the Betfred Cup final and then at home against Rangers in the league. Since you were last with me, form has been largely good. There's been a couple of disappointing results and then most notably the one against Dundee United, but we did play quite a rotated team in that game if we just have a look at the 11 that we used, because it was only a few days before the cup final. There's a few names in there that don't play very often: Priso, Hardy, McBride, Sterling, Doherty. So I'm not that upset that we lost, but it is a result that took us outside of the top six. And I know a lot of you have been saying in the comments that I want to finish 7th rather than 6th to avoid a horrible end of the season. I want to finish 6th rather than 7th and give us a chance of getting into Europe. Top 4 places going to Europe. So once you're into that last 6, there's only 2 teams out of that 6 who don't make it through. If we're only a couple of points away, right, like we are at the moment, I want to go for it and take my chances. As you can see, our 2 centre-backs are 2 of the best players in the division. So don't write us off completely. But before we worry about the league, we've got the important business of the Betfred Cup final today against Celtic. They've already beaten us in the league once this season. They'll beat us plenty more times over the course of this save. But today, I'd probably make a deal and say I'll happily have this be the only time we beat Celtic. But we want to pick up a piece of silverware. So this is the team that we're going to be playing in the Betfred Cup final to try and pick up our first... Would you say it's our first trophy? We've got League 2 and League 1 trophies. I guess they count as trophies too. But this is our first cup win if we can pull it off. So we've got Miguel in goal, a back 4 of Harfield, Jackson, Devlin and Gillespie. Hamilton, Akpan and Cash in midfield with Logan in behind Burkhardt and Knox. It's pretty much our regular first choice 11. Steve McIntosh still can't get into the team because Jackson and Devlin have been playing so well. Leahy, which I am assured is how you say his name, occasionally plays instead of Harfield, but there's not much between them, and Harfield's been in the team for a little while now and seems to be averaging a pretty good return over his last 5 games. The one worry at the moment is Nishan Burkhardt, who, after starting the season really well, has gone off the boil a little bit and is the player closest to the chopping block at the moment. I'd like to find a way to get Mark Priso into the side because I think he's got the potential to be a good player in this league, but we can't really mess around with that in the cup final because the fans would destroy me if the gamble didn't come off. So we'll just play our normal team that we should be able to... I mean, we know what we get with this team. Yes, we look good in training. Yes, we want to win every match. And there you go, that's the Celtic team. I don't know how many of those we recognise. That's Tom Carroll from Spurs, I think. I don't know if that... And there's Joel Campbell as well, presumably. Arsenal Joel Campbell. So there's some decent players in their team. Certainly a lot better than anything we've got. But we've got passion and desire and we want a cup win. Of course, the problem is, presumably the game is listing like it usually does. I've mentioned by name 2 of the opposition players before the match. We're all familiar with the rules. If I mention the players by name, they automatically score against us. So expect to see goals from Carroll and Campbell over the course of this game. And Grant Gillespie's going to get himself sent off here. Oh, he's got away with it. Excellent stuff. Right, let's... Oh, Burkhardt's got him with a good challenge there. And we've got 3 against 1. And their 1 is the goalkeeper. And Burkhardt has scored. And we're 1-0 up in the final of the Betfred Cup. One of Europe's premier cup competitions. And that was all made by Nishan Burkhardt. We were saying before the match how he's not had a particularly good run of games. But he won that ball back himself. And then ran half the length of the pitch with players flanking either side of him. There's no one in competition with him there. He is just through. And a cheeky little chip over the keeper at the end. What a goal. He's been saving himself for this. He is absolutely up for it. And most importantly, despite getting really excited, I didn't have a coughing fit. The cough is still there. I'm at the doctor's tomorrow, but fingers crossed we can now score goals again without it causing me serious breathing difficulties. So that's a massive bonus as well. Celtic are in, Miguel makes a save, and that could go down as a very important save as well, because that was a good opportunity for Celtic. They've now... I don't understand how Burkart's goal wasn't a clear-cut chance. He was through on goal with 2 players supporting him and no Celtic player apart from the goalkeeper in that half with him. That's about as close to a clear-cut chance as you can get, isn't it? One-on-one with the keeper. That's some good defending there from Devlin, but there is a lot of pressure from Celtic here, and we're defending really scrappily, and we managed to get the ball away through Logan, but it's collected back and comes straight back at us. This is going to be it for the game now. They're just going to keep coming at us. Burkart's in again. Perhaps could have run on with it a little bit more. We've already seen once in this game that he possesses enough pace to beat his man there, but getting a little bit glory hunty, and Jackson intercepts well, and we've just got to defend like we've never defended before. Our 2 best players are our 2 centre-backs. They've got to be on their game today, and Miguel makes a brilliant save with the Celtic striker through on goal. They've already had 3 clear-cut chances. Norberto Miguel is hopefully going to have the game of his life. Everyone's been doubting him in the comments for 3 seasons. He's made some good saves already in this game. If we can get good games out of him and the 2 centre-backs, we'll be fine. What I would love to see is another goal here, but they're through again and Miguel makes another save. That's their 4th clear-cut chance. Miguel wants a medal, bless him. Right, Knox has got the ball now. He's our furthest player forward, and we're a third of the way out of into our half. Wow, that was a action-packed first half, and the headline is, at half-time in the Betfred Cup final, we're 1-0 up against Celtic. And I know we shouldn't still be attacking at this point, but you know, because you've been around for long enough, that isn't going to stop me, because I don't have any other tactic in me. We're just going to keep attacking. We're hopefully, because Celtic are coming at us so hard, it almost becomes counter-attacking. We've scored again, and it's an own goal. We're 2-0 up with half an hour of this match to go. I think I might have just slipped a disc in my back, jolting myself up out of the chair. Logan he just hits the ball across goal to nobody in particular. We don't have a striker in there. Whoever this blonde lad is, he was already running back out of the area to get ready to make an interception off the lost ball. But their defender, under no pressure at all, turns it into his own net. And we've now only got 20 minutes to hold on for. If ever there was a time for me to have a defensive tactic to switch to, I wish this was that time. But we haven't. Right, we're going to bring Doherty on. And we're going to bring on Mark Priso. Possibly a risk, but he's a proper, natural defensive forward. And I think that's exactly what we need. With 20 minutes to go in a game like this, we need him to put their defence under pressure. And it's not something that Burkhardt typically does. Obviously, we've seen him do it once already today and make himself a goal. Celtic have hit the post now. Was that their 5th clear-cut chance? No, they're still showing us 4. But we just want Priso to just be chasing everything that moves. Just pressure, 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 and they have finally scored. 17 minutes left on the clock. We're only 1 goal to the good, and Celtic are more than good enough to go ahead and take the game away from us here, and it would be such a shame. But at the moment, you just have to look at the stats to see that even at 2-1, we are massively, massively mugging them. They've had their 4 clear-cut chances. We've not had a single clear-cut chance. They've dominated this game, and we're just being monsters. We've got so few players that I'm familiar with sat on the bench. I'm not going to make another change, I don't think, because Purdue, Brown, these players aren't playing games with us. Who's Mark Brown? Is he the right back? Actually, we'll bring him on and we'll move Gillespie into midfield. That's what I'm going to do. So Hamilton will come off. Gillespie will move up into midfield. Brown can go there. Gillespie, I think, can play as a proper ball-winning midfielder. It doesn't make much difference, actually. We'll keep it as it is. We've just got to hang on for 10 minutes. And I'm having such an internal conflict about whether or not I should go to a defensive system, but we've got 10 seconds to go. I think that's it. We've only blooming won the Betfred Cup. That is ridiculous. Is that the first time we've ever won it? Was that an unexpected win? Oh, we've got to give the squad a bonus. Oh, 27 grand for Hope Apcam. There you go. That was enough to get Steve McIntosh to be happy to stay. He wanted to win a trophy this year. Let's immediately get him tied down to a longer contract. Because, right, we'll allow the... No, we're not a stepping stone. Do one. No, you're not having a big pay rise. Do one. Suggest promises. There you go. See, you're happy with... This promise thing is nonsense. If you just take them all off, because that's all you need to do. I've never had a player say they're not happy with the promises we put on there. Right, that's going to change his minimum fee release clause from 2.7 million to 4.1. I mean, I'm happy with all of that. What's he currently earning? 875 quid. Let's try and squeeze a little bit more money out of him, then take it down to 1.1. I don't know why I'm doing contract negotiations on an episode. I've never done this before, I don't think. But, you know, we've just won a trophy. Our brightest young prospect is now willing to stay at the club, so let's keep hold of him. It doesn't say whether that was the first time we've won it, but there you go. Now we're going to go and beat Rangers as well. Right, just the one change for the Rangers match. Hope Apcan drops out. Greg Doherty comes into the team, and we just shuffled the midfield around a little bit to accommodate that. No real thought process behind that, other than the fact that Akpan is struggling a little bit, and Doherty is as good as him, and it's been a bit of a coin toss which one we play anyway. In other positions, we don't quite have the luxury of rotating players around. I guess there are not going to be many better opportunities to get McIntosh into that defence, but how do you break up Devlin and Jackson, who have just been brilliant all season long and have just shown how brilliant they are in that cup final against Celtic? So I just don't see how we break up that defence. It's playing so well at the moment that when we've got a massive game against Rangers now, it just seems mad not to play as close to a first choice team as we can, even though they're all a little bit shattered after their exploits at the weekend. But focus back on the league now. We've dropped out of that top six. We're only 1 point behind Hearts, who are in sixth place at the moment, and we want to get back in there. We've won a cup. We feel like we're a top six team. We want to establish ourselves as that. Does that Mickey Mouse competition we've just won get us into Europe by any chance? Because if not, we still want to be able to focus in on a European finish. But I didn't notice from any of the news reports, so that's something you can let me know in the comments. Have we just won a place in the Europa League? Because that would be awesome if we have. I'd love a Europa League run next year. Rangers scored. Well, hopefully we have got there through the cup, because it's looking less and less likely that we're going to get back up to those giddy heights through the league, because we must be closing in on playing everyone for a second time now. How many are there? 22. Oh no, we're about halfway through the second run for all the teams. So certainly first run through, it was the first half of the batch of teams that we found most difficult. We had all the bigger teams in the first half, then went on a little winning run. So hopefully after this game, we've got all the difficult ones out of the way and we can go on a little winning run again and push ourselves back up into sort of 5th, 6th place and leave ourselves just sort of lurking there, waiting for one of those top 4 to slip up. Knox has just got one back, or got the one back, in fact, it's 1-1. Ross County are the team I've got my eye on for slipping up. Oh, the goal curse is back. I must have jinxed myself in that last game. We score a goal and straight away the coughing fit is back. So it's 20 minutes on the clock. It's 1-1 again. Knox has now scored against his old club. Apparently, Man United are after him in real life as well. I'm going to claim him as a player I found if he ends up going there, because obviously I knew about him first. Forget anyone who might have heard of him from real life. He was part of Kev's Hamilton team. That means I discovered him. Didn't sign him, of course. He was already here. But that's beside the point. Rangers are in behind again here, and Miguel proving yet again why you were all wrong. And he is the man to be our goalkeeper. He makes some cracking saves. And it's a similar story already to what we've just had in the Celtic game. Rangers have had 3 clear-cut chances and only scored 1 goal. And a lot of the credit there has to go to Norberto Miguel. Why wasn't he doing this for Southend last year? If he was, we might not even be at Hamilton now, because we'd have finished a lot higher in the Championship last year if Miguel had been making saves like that consistently for us last year. We might be playing in the Premier League by now with Southend. But he certainly seems to have come of age for us over the last 5 or 6 games for Hamilton, and clearly a big game player as well. He enjoyed playing against Celtic. He seems to be enjoying the experience against Rangers as well. And hopefully he can continue enjoying games against the bigger clubs in the division. Because if we can find a way to beat this lot or stay competitive with this lot consistently, then European football, here we come. Right, Knox. I mean, it was the worst of three options. It should have come out to the right back to whip him for a cross. Burkhart was in space as well. He really shouldn't have been shooting from there. But then I suppose we've got this whole, they do a lot of long shots, and I've just been talking Miguel up so much, and I don't know what's just happened, but I think I can already feel the comments coming in of you lot telling me you were right after all, and yeah, Miguel's just dropped that onto Abraham's head. Never ever praise a goalkeeper, because they'll go and do something like that. Too big for his boots. That's his good run of form gone. Devlin's not having a good game either, so now he's the opportunity to get McIntosh in. We'll bring Priso on again, because any opportunity to play him is fine by me, because he is someone I discovered. He was a Southend signing for me, and I'd be interested in bringing him here permanently if he can actually recapture some of that form he had when he first burst into the Southend team last year, and it's 3-1 now. It was fun imagining we could be competitive, but it's gone now, and here comes another cough. Oh, are we going to blame Miguel for this one? Nah, not so much. I don't think he could have done much about that. We're going to put that one, the blame for that one firmly on the defence. And as much as I've been raving about how good the defence are, we've given away 5 clear-cut chances again. The blame's got to go to the defence for that, surely. But their ratings are so good. Not today, but in general. Their ratings have been so high, so we can't blame them too much. I mean, 3-1 against Rangers, having just beaten Celtic 3 days ago, is not a disaster, but 4-1's getting closer to disaster land. How far? Right, we're 2 points off of that top half place at the moment. It's not a disaster. Miguel did all right first time of asking, not so much the second time. Oh, and it seems I spoke far too soon about this cough and the goal curse. Every goal that goes in now, I'm coughing my lungs up. It's ridiculous. Don't be surprised if you see a lung just flop out onto my keyboard in front of me, because that's what it feels like is about to happen. Oh, goodness me. 5-1. We've been absolutely thumped today. I mean, what was Gillespie doing? Why didn't you just leave that? There was no one behind him. I guess, cliche bingo time, if you'd have offered me this outcome at the start of the episode, I would have said yes, because we won a trophy. And that's what matters. But that does sting a bit. Never mind, eh? Right, I've got another cough coming on, so I'm going to wrap things up quickly here. If you've enjoyed that, and we won a cup, you must have enjoyed it. Please pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.